the wishes, affirming commitment to take the India-US comprehensive global partnership to new heights, backing Trump's efforts of peace in Ukraine. Trump has meanwhile praised Modi for doing a tremendous job and thanked him for India's support on ending the Ukraine war. Beyond the birthday diplomacy, the real breakthrough may be on trade. A 7-hour marathon round of talks in New Delhi has been described as positive, forward-looking by both sides. India's Commerce Ministry confirmed discussions spanned tariffs, technology and market access. The US Embassy has echoed the optimism, calling the discussions constructive, hinting at next steps in the 6th round of formal negotiations. क्या? I'm going to go straight across to Pranay Upadhyay for more details on that story. This, in fact, is an important conversation that the leaders essentially have had on the occasion of the Prime Minister's birthday, indicating in every which way that things are, still on track as far as the talks around trade is also concerned here, isn't it? With President Donald Trump reiterating on the same today.
This is a significant phone call. Not only that US President Donald Trump dialed Prime Minister Narendra Modi, wished him his, a happy birthday on his 75th birthday, and also he affirmed his good work, and he said that, and he also acknowledged the kind of support being extended by Prime Minister Narendra Modi and India in his efforts, and especially to stop the Russia-Ukraine conflict. This is a change. This is a big change because from accusing India of supporting Putin's war and in Russia-Ukraine conflict, this is a significant change in Trump administration, and it is coming from US President Donald Trump himself. And if you see 6th of September onward, there is a change in Trump administration's attitude and approach towards India. This phone call happened yesterday on 16th of September, as well as on 16th of September. After a pause of almost 1.5 months, India and United States trade representatives sat down. We had a discussion on bilateral trade agreement. This also came yesterday, and both the sides, India's Commerce Ministry as well as the US Trade Representative Office, called it a positive development. So definitely, this is not only a change and a different approach by the Trump administration as far as India is concerned. And you would recall, Sneha, that on 6th of September and on 10th of September, in fact, significantly, US President Donald Trump posted on his social media account and said that very soon India and United States will be having a trade agreement. So this is a change. How long and how sustainable this change would be, we do not know, because hot, blow cold has been a policy with Trump administration. But definitely, India welcome this change, and we would want to conclude a bilateral trade agreement by the deadline set by both the leaders, Prime Minister Modi and President Donald Trump, in February 2025, and we will try and conclude a mutually beneficial trade agreement. Also, the Trump administration has said, both India and Trump administration set a very ambitious target of taking the bilateral trade to $500 billion. So India remains committed to having a bilateral engagement with the United States. And if you have seen, Sneha, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has also reciprocated not only to the phone call of President Donald Trump. He also thanked President Donald Trump for the phone call, but also reaffirmed India's commitment for the bilateral ties and taking the India-US strategy, global comprehensive strategic partnership to newer levels. So this remains India's approach and India's commitment as far as the ties are concerned.
Pranay Upadhyay, getting in those details at this point in time, I'm going to leave it at that. India Today global editor talking to us about the significance of this conversation. All right, at least for the time being, that's it from me for the moment. I'm now going to go straight across to my colleague Aabha Bakaya of Business Today Television with all updates of the markets in this business show. Aabha, over to you.
Good morning and welcome to Market Opening on our brand new collab show between Business Today and India Today TV. Just after 9, we're here to get you ahead of the curve as markets kick off trading for the day. Let's take a look at what's hot in the corporate and financial space this morning. Big Tuesday twist to the 7-week-long tail of Trump tariff tantrums, hours after India and US trade negotiators hold talks to lay out a path for the future. US President dials up friend Prime Minister Modi from onboard Air Force One. Fresh thaw between the two leaders as Trump wishes Modi a happy birthday and thanks him for support on Ukraine. All three US stock indices end lower in choppy trade ahead of the Fed Reserve interest rate decision tonight. Investors largely pricing in a 25 basis point cut despite news from the central bank. Oracle is also up after Trump claims a deal with China to buy out TikTok's American operations. Investors in last week's main board IPO set for a windfall this morning. Urban Company expected to debut nearly an hour from now with more than 50% listing gains. Grey market premium on other issues, Shringar House and Dev Accelerator as high as 20%. Fresh twist to the Jane Street probe. Reports say the Central Board of Direct Taxes is looking into the alleged misuse of India's tax treaty with Singapore, liabilities to be imposed once the case is established. News reports say CBDT has already collected data on this and will soon be submitted to the Finance Ministry. Jindal Steel International in talks with Germany's ThyssenKrupp to acquire its European steel business. The Naveen Jindal company commits more than 2 billion euros to ThyssenKrupp's projects in Duisburg and also constructing an electric arc furnace. All right, lots of optimism in the markets ahead of that Fed meet, pricing in a 25 basis point cut. Let's take a look at the overnight action on Wall Street. As I mentioned, markets right now just in wait and watch mode to see really if the Fed meets their expectations. So that's really what's keeping the indices quiet for the moment. So S&P, NASDAQ and Dow all down just a touch in the red. Overnight action, and then let's move across to Asia this morning as well and see how things are shaping up there. Good move on the Hang Seng, Shanghai and Nikkei just marginally in the green while Kospi lags behind. So that's the setup there in Asia. Now let's take a look at the Nifty for you as well. And of course, that's the Wall Street action for you again on your screen. But let's pull up the Nifty and let me also bring in Shailendra Bhatnagar, our chief analyst. Shail, good morning. Lots of optimism that you're seeing, especially, the index still looking like just a slight upward bias in pre-open, but clearly it's in the broader markets or in the kind of sentiment that you're observing when it comes to the Lal Street, that there is optimism, both with regards to the Fed meet and otherwise.
Good morning, Aabha, and a very warm welcome to all our viewers. Of course, there is optimism. And you and I have also done what we can. You're wearing red to enthuse the bulls. I'm wearing green to put the Nifty higher. And we have a gap up today, Aabha, and I'd like to advise all viewers and all investors to tighten their seat belts. The final missing piece in the jigsaw, a call between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and US President Trump is now in place. And this is the first and the last thing that was needed by the market for the bull run to continue. Yesterday we added 169 points. Overall in the last 10 sessions, 860 on the Nifty. We are now at a 4-5 week high. Last time you saw this number was on July 11th. Everything is in place. The dollar index is at a 5-6 month low. The US 10-year yield is at its 5-month low. Crude oil is below 200-day DMA, and a good monsoon, a GST rate cut, an income tax cut, and of course the GST rejig. Everything is in place, Aabha. Let's get ready for a very decent bull run from now on. A trending day will follow today, Aabha.
All right, so very strong commentary coming in from our editor markets. Let's also go across to Sharad Awasthi, who's joining us. He's head of research PCG. Let's get your view in, Sharad. Good morning. Are you also seeing a lot of bullish momentum when it comes to the index and, of course, the broader markets, whether it be, Trump calling Modi, whether it be countdown to the Fed meet? What do you think is driving action, and are you as bullish?
Yeah, well, I'm bullish about everything else other than Trump. I think I would look at everything that he does. I would take it with a pinch of salt, and you can't be really sure how this topsy-turvy wave is going to respond. So I don't know what it will do or what will end up, because now we are talking that these are first-round rhetoric talks. What finally emanates as a deal or not, we do not know. And but the narratives have been different from Trump, different from his people. So I think I would not bet much, but yeah, I think what Shell has very intelligently covered most of the points that there is a consumption boost we are looking at, there is a tax cut boost we are looking at. Part of the rally is already playing out. So I think, yeah, over the next 6 months, I think maybe at worst, this quarter numbers do not look as rosy as we were expecting it earlier, because of this GST cut announcement and a delay. But next quarter, I think the whole thing is going to bunch up. So I am very positive that over the next, 3 to 6 months, we should see a very good rally in the markets.
All right, so still looking at a 3 to 6 month scenario there very wisely in terms of, the kind of sustained traction that Sharad anticipates. Let's pull up some individual stocks as well. Shell, Bajaj Finance, I mean, somebody would say it's always been a top performer. Why now? What are you noticing on the stock?
Well, Aabha, if there is one stock in India that needs no, how should I say, help from anybody, there are four major tailwinds that have coming into Bajaj Finance. Remember, for the month of September, Bajaj Finance is already at a record high, up about 15-16%. It's the top performing stock on the Nifty for the last fortnight. And even on an year-to-date basis, 47% higher. Again, Nifty's top performer. Now, Jefferies has put in a price target of 1100 rupees on Bajaj Finance for four tailwinds: the GST rate cut, the income tax cut, a good monsoon, and this consumer boom that we are seeing in front of us. So Jefferies hopes that Bajaj Finance will have a 20% uptick in its earnings for the next couple of years, followed by a 20% return on equity. More importantly, Aabha, this is the best NBFC franchise that we know. If you're looking to buy a car, if you're looking to buy a two-wheeler, if you're looking to buy a fridge, AC, Bajaj Finance is everywhere. You and I get 5 calls a day from Bajaj Finance. Such is their reach. The AUM guidance for Bajaj Finance is 23 to 24% this year versus bank credit growth of 10%. So if there's one stock that you want to buy in India, it should be Bajaj Finance according to Jefferies. Of course, please consult an independent financial advisor as well. Aabha.
All right, Shell, thanks for taking us through that. Let's pull up some other stocks and news as well. We're just counting down to market opening right now. Akzo Nobel CCI has approved JSW Paints buying up to 75% stake there in Akzo Nobel. In fact, talking about some of the Jindal counters, Jindal Steel is the other big newsmaker today, offering to buy ThyssenKrupp Steel Europe. That's quite a large buy coming in, for Jindal Steel. I want to get your view on this actually just quickly, Sharad, before we go to the opening bell, because it's through a private subsidiary. Regardless, do you see any kind of sentimental impact coming in on JSPL this morning?
Yeah, there could be some impact. I think this is a big acquisition we are talking about. I think most of the steel companies do not have a gearing problem as on date. Also, I think most of the debt is more or less negligible on most balance sheets, including companies like SAIL. So I think, yeah, JSPL should benefit out of this. Forward, we are trading at 15 times, and most probably over the next 2 years, growth was anyways expected to be very strong. So I think it's a strong balance sheet, even post acquisition. Not much, debt overhang should be there. So in case everything goes through and it's not very exorbitant in terms of prices, I think, JSPL could see some upside from current levels.
Okay. So let's keep an eye out on JSPL on opening. We're just counting now, just about a few seconds to go. Remember, we're expecting a gap up and continued traction through the day. And we're, of course, cheering Trump's call to Modi and seeing some amount of market optimism on the back of that as well. Let's take a look at opening trades. Then on the screen, up 0.3%, 25,305 on the Nifty. So really good start coming in. I know Shell's going to say, I told you so. Nifty Bank is looking good as well right now. This morning, we've got green on IT, up a nice strong 0.5% in morning trade. Let's pull up some of the other indices and top gainers as well and take a look where the action is coming in. Auto is continuously gaining this week and last week, so up 0.3% on some of those auto majors. Tata Consumers up over 3%. Coal India, Ultratech, some of the movers this morning seeing a good strong move, 1.5%. BEL is back in the green. Tata Motors up about 0.7%. We've got Grasim also on the move. Trent, Infosys, NTPC, and remember some of these names hadn't been participating earlier this week, so definitely adding their muscle now today. Meanwhile, on the downside, Adani Ports has been very much in the news, a slight breather there, so same with Aisha. Bharti is just about flat this morning right now. Let's take a look at what else is on the downside right now. And Titan and Wipro. Market breadth is strong. It's looking really good. Shell, it's like you indicated in the pre-open that it clearly momentum seems to be at play today.
Yes, Aabha, the top 10 stocks in terms of index weight on the Nifty are doing pretty well. Nifty's Infosys is up 7 rupees at 15.18. A strong show that is coming into Bajaj Finserv, Hindustan Unilever and Reliance. Apart from that, the advanced decline is very strong, as you mentioned. 1536 shares in the green versus 340 in the red. So that's an easy 5:1. We track 19 indices, 18 of them are in the green, and the rally is led by the IT index, the realty index, energy and auto. In terms of new highs in the market, you have again Maruti, Manappuram Finance, Aadhar Housing Finance and JSW Steel. So the mood is really good, and we are also getting ready for the Urban Company listing at about 10 a.m. That's going to be a blowout Aabha today.
It totally is, and in fact we spoke to the management. We'll try and pull up a snippet of that, but clearly on the path to profitability and quite confident of managing to build on that. Let me pull up, okay, you said JSW Steel is in action, so let's pull that one up as well. A whole bunch of the JSW stocks are of course in news today, but JSW Steel is for other reasons. Some of those housing finance companies, gold finance companies, let me go across to Sharad on that. Sharad, so much to talk about in the market clearly, but from some of these broader market plays, as Shell said, new highs every day coming in. What would be your pick from the financials in the broader market?
I think within the financials, PSU banks could be something that you could start looking at.
Okay.
SBI, the type of commentary that is coming from the management seems like good, for around 1,050, considering it trades at 1.752 price to book. Similarly, I think the other PSU lot also with a lot of talk about, concentration and considering rebalancing it into much lesser number of banks. So I think stocks like PNB, Bank of Baroda, all trading at 0.91 times, 0.8 times price to book. So I think these offer a very good opportunity. And on the private sector banks also, I think there are opportunities. HDFC is a decent bet, but if I have to choose between the two, I think the PSUs look much better. SBI, Bank of Baroda, Canara Bank, PNB.
And we have been tracking some of that PSU bank action as well. Now, a few more newsmakers. Let's see how they're reacting. We've got BEL, of course, in the green on the back of an order win, as well as continued traction on the counter. Apollo Tyres, they're going to be sponsoring the India cricket team for 3 years. Apollo Tyres, let's take a look if it's seeing any action this morning. And Amber Enterprises, a QIP issue coming in there for that one. Apollo's up about 1.5%. Coal India, they declared a preferred bidder for a rare earth block in Ontilu Chandragiri, so that's why that counter is in the news as well. Dr. Reddy's introducing a new molecule in India, and GAIL seeking October cargo for the Dabhol terminal. So that's an LNG tender coming in for GAIL. So some of these newsmakers this morning just running through some of those names as well. But, we've been talking a lot about some of these defense names, energy names, and clearly some very key themes that are building in the market, a clear shift that seems to be emerging, Sharad. Would you be in consensus with that view? And if so, what would be some of your preferred picks in that space?
I certainly think this is a very good space to be in over the longer term, 3 to 5 years. But maybe the frontline names, you would find it difficult to make money in a 18, 24-month kind of horizon. They might be priced perfectly. I was looking at BEL the other day. It's trading at what, 28, 30 times FY28 numbers. So I think they leave very little on the table, though you can consider the fact that there will be a lot of improvement in terms of order book, etc. What we are looking at right now, I think if you look at a mix of power, hydrogen, etc., I think MTAR space, I think MTAR could be a good name to look at. I think the order book acceleration should look much better in the second half. And purely on the defense side, I think Idea Forge is something though expensive, but I think the type of dominance they have in the drone technology, these could be two small cap, mid cap names that could do very well according to me in the next, 1.5 year. And the second half of the year should be much better for them.
Okay, great. Some more of those newsmakers. We've got PNC Infratech with CCI approving an acquisition of JP Associates by PNC Infra. Let's pull that one up. And we've got HCL Tech with its first AI MarTech platform in India as well. IT is looking good this morning. PNC is actually seeing a pretty good move coming in right now. And I think the other one I just want to go back to for a moment is Apollo Tyres. And Shell, you're picking up something there. We just talked about how they're going to be looking to sponsor the Indian cricket team. So no business fundamental reasons, but that's definitely why that counters in the news this morning.
Yes, and also the fact, Aabha, that auto ancillaries have done immensely well in this market. Remember, Apollo Tyres was somewhere like 350 rupees in the month of April, now somewhere like 492. So it's the auto ancillary theme that is running full steam for Apollo Tyres as well, and this new contract with the BCCI for a 2-year period. I'd also like to mark Larsen and Toubro, a big order win, at least 2,500 crores worth of fresh orders that have come into L&T. That's what the board has just informed shareholders. And there is a runaway move that's happening on BEL, Garden Reach, from the defense space. This is something that Sharad has also marked. You have Cochin Shipyard 1% higher, BDL 1% higher, and a strong move coming into Idea Forge, something that he just recommended, 2.3% higher. Apollo Micro 2.4% higher. Abha, all around you see a lot of activity. The Nifty now adding further to its gains, 77 points higher, 25,315. We'll have a strong trending day today. The Nifty will end at its day's high at 3:30 p.m. Aabha.
Okay, I'm going to hold you to that, Shell, when we come back at 3:30. But, Sharad, I'm going to come to you on Auto and Auto Ank in just a moment, but I just want to run through a few more brokerage views as well. CLSA on cement, that's an upgrade on Ultratech, so we'll just pull that up and outperform in Ambuja. So let's pull up some of those cement majors. And we've got Novama on Eureka Forbes also initiating a buy, looking strong there. And Nomura on Prestige Estates as well. So there's a buy coming in there from Nomura on Prestige Estates. Just wanted to run through some of these other brokerage reports coming in as well. I'll pull them up for you on your screen. Ultratech looking good this morning, and we'll pull up some of those others as well. But Auto and Auto Ank, Sharad, let me come to you on that because, it definitely has been an area that's been buzzing. Post the GST news ahead of festive season, we've seen Auto make a big comeback, of course. But Auto Ancillary is also looking interesting. Any top picks there?
I think Varroc looks like a good idea that you could look at. The fact that, four-wheelers, two-wheelers should do very well. I think that could be one company that could benefit substantially out of this. Though post-issue, they haven't really improved much in terms of price performance, and the company has gone through some turbulence. But I'm very bullish on it. I think long-term, that could be a very good idea to look at. Samvardhan Motherson, after this recent announcement of the aggressive targets that they've put in over the next 3-4 years, I think that's a very aggressive target. Usually they always put an aggressive target. So I think that could be a good idea to bet on. Motherson wiring might have run up a bit, so might not leave much on the table for 1.5 years. So I think Samvardhan Motherson and Varroc would be two ideas within the auto ancillary space that you could look at.
All right, let me focus on the big IPO listing this morning. Urban Company set to list in a few minutes at an issue price of 103 rupees per share. Following a blockbuster response, the IPO subscribed 109 times. We did catch up with Abhiraj Singh Bahl, founder and CEO, who spoke about the company's journey from back-to-back losses to turning profitable in FY25. He explains what's driving this turnaround and how it can be sustained. Abhiraj, FY25 saw a turnaround from heavy losses in FY23 and 24 to a profit of 239 crore rupees. How sustainable is this profitability trend?
Aabha, so if I talk about the last three financial years, we have gone from about 437.5 crores in revenue from operations in FY22 to about 1144.5 in FY25. And of that 707 crores of incremental revenue that we've added to the top line, we've seen a translation of about 385 crores moving to the adjusted EBITDA, going from negative 373 to positive 12, and about 540 odd crores in the profit before tax, going from negative 514 to positive 28. Now, the profit after tax has a deferred tax asset of 211 crores. I would urge your listeners to ignore that accounting entry because that is taken in lieu of future profitability. The real profits that the company generated should be seen as a profit before tax level, which is about 28 odd crores, or the adjusted EBITDA, which is about 12. So you can say more or less the company today is at a break-even stage. On a base of about 1144 crores of revenue, we've generated small profits, but it's turned a corner. In our kind of businesses, investments happen upfront in technology, training, brand building, and customer acquisition, etc. And once you hit a certain threshold scale, the fixed costs don't grow linearly with top line, and one can expect a meaningful percentage of the top line and contribution margin flowing into the adjusted EBITDA.
All right, before we close the show, let's just quickly focus on some of the pockets buzzing on the back of easing Trump tensions. Shell?
Absolutely. Aabha, absolutely. I think there's a massive rally happening in all leather exporters. Look at Mirza International and look at Khadim. Both of them make shoes which are exported to the US, and textile stocks. This phone call between President Trump and Prime Minister Narendra Modi is doing wonders. Look at Gokuldas Exports, look at Skytex. Both of them up 5%. They export a lot of stuff to the US. Look at Himmat Singha Seede, 1% higher. Look at AYM Syntex. I track about 22 textile stocks. 21 of them are in the green. Gains ranging between 2 and 5%. 2 of them are on circuit, which is Skytex and Gokuldas Exports. And there's, of course, no stopping Mirza International and Khadim, up 11 and 8% respectively. Aabha.
Great to see all these pockets of action and momentum clearly intact. Sharad, we're completely out of time. Just a 10-second answer from you. Do you see a fresh closing high today?
Yeah, very much possible. I think, yeah, very much possible.
All right. Very much endorsing it then. All right, stay tuned. We'll be back with market closing later, but that's all from us for now. Thanks so much for watching.
Moto G96 5G. All eyes on you.
ये आपकी रक्षा के लिए और ये आपकी रक्षा के लिए।
अरे ये क्या है?
ये आपकी रक्षा के लिए और ये घर की रक्षा के लिए।
न जले न पिघले, घर घर को सेफ बनाएं। अपार अनुशक्ति फायर प्रोटेक्ट वायर।
मंगलदीप, दिल से करो बात भगवान के साथ।
मंगलदीप धूप कोन्स 2 गुनी खुशबू के साथ दे पूजा का बेहतर अनुभव।
Hello Moto, do the Moto Moto.
Moto G96 5G, segment's undisputed all-rounder.
Moto G96 5G. All eyes on you.
Hi, here are the top headlines presented by Motorola. Tejasvi says, Bihar in mood for change. During Bihar Adhikar Yatra. Rijiju advises Afridi. Says Pakistan can make Rahul their leader. Ministry of Home Affairs plans massive crackdown to deport 16,000 drug traffickers.
India Today Conclave 2025. September 25 and 26, Mumbai. Book your seat now.
Moto G96 5G. All eyes on you.
मंगलदीप, दिल से करो बात भगवान के साथ।
मंगलदीप धूप कोन्स, 2 गुनी खुशबू।